Okay, how much are they?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Keating,
Present.
Snellings,
Present.
Reinhardt,
Present.
Schrader,
Present.
Brom,
Present.
Beichman,
Present.
Barris,
Present.
quorum is present.
Thank you. First up, we have approval of minutes from the April 27th regular meeting.
Move to approve minutes, regular meetings, April 27, 2026 is written.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. Next up, we have an appointment and wage determination. It's a little unusual to have it at the top of the agenda, but I wanted to make sure that we had Ward 1 filled as soon as we possibly could here. To that end, I would like approval to appoint as Ward 1 council member Tyler Warren. He would fill the unfilled position from May 11th, so today, through December 2029.
So
Move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Next, I would like to appoint him to the committees that were vacated with our loss of a councilman. This would be the Admin and Finance Committee meeting, the Parks and Recreation meeting, or Admin and Finance Committee, the Parks and Recreation Committee, the Police and Fire Committee, and the Convention and Tourism Liaison position.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
And now we would ask that Mr. Warren come forward to be sworn in, please.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of council member
that I will faithfully perform the duties of council member
of the City of Marysville, Kansas,
of the City of Marysville, Kansas,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Welcome.
All right. Next up, we'll move to public comments. Anybody who would like to come forward at this point in the meeting, please hold your comments to a maximum of 5 minutes. Give your name, address, and ward.
Good evening, Council. I'm Darlene Boss, Ward 2, 706 North 9th Street, 1/2 block off Jenkins. So I use Jenkins a lot. For you who aren't familiar with Jenkins Street, on this side of town, from 7th to 11th, it's old concrete. 11th to 18th, it's very nice brick streets. And then it runs on south of the hospital, asphalt, I guess. Many people in town use Jenkins. And in April 2015, I began my session on council. And at that time, those blocks, I think 7th was included, at least 8th to 11th were ranked among the worst streets in town. That was 11 years ago. Besides vehicles, there are many motorcyclists who I see on Jenkins, bicyclists. And Saturday night, I was headed to church at 5:30 and luckily swerved, so I did not hit this at 10th and Jenkins. And after church, I went back, of course, it was still there. I picked it up, and I have a box back in, but it's heavy, in the back of my pickup of the few other, I just picked up some of the big pieces. I didn't pick up everything. So I've got a big, heavy box. Maybe I'll bring it back in and leave it at the back of the hall later if I get up the strength to carry it. I didn't want to bring it in here because I thought I'd break the podium. So I do want you to all consider putting in new concrete. It really ought to be all the way from 10th to 11th. At 10th, often there are chunks like this big, and they'll be there several days, and never so often nobody's picked it up, so I'll finally stop my car, but it's kind of dangerous for an old person like me who doesn't move so fast because some people, come around 8th Street onto Jenkins pretty fast. And anyway, I'll finally pick it up and move it off of the street. But please consider doing that work. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you, Darlene.
Hello, everybody. Congratulations, Tyler. I'm Emily Rockwell. I'm chair for the Youth Advisory Committee. Almost done with my term, but I just wanted to let y'all know that I had such a fun time, and actually we got plaques, and I don't think any of you have been able to see it yet, so I'll let you pass it around while I talk. Grant and I both got one. So at our meeting, we had, Allie Argo was supposed to come talk to us, but wasn't able to, so we're gonna try again. And then we actually started talking about the drive-in movie and just ideas of how we can do that. And then just began thinking of ideas, and so we're gonna go back and talk to Alex one more time and try to see if we can, finagle a little bit. And then we actually also did our new logo, as you guys can see, and we're gonna put Stronger Together on there. That would be our motto, or whatever you want to call it. And so we did adopt that at last meeting, so that was fun too. I think we're going to have our flags at the next meeting. And I think that's all I have. And then Grant was supposed to be here tonight, but found out that he had to go to JV baseball, but he wanted me to tell you guys how thankful he was for the opportunity. And as am I have really enjoyed getting to serve on the committee, and I hope that it keeps going for several years. And I know that we've also, kind of established a little bit more interest in it, and I know that applications are due at the end of the month. So we've been trying to get people encouraged, and we had someone at the last meeting who was pretty excited. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys thank you for allowing me and Grant to serve on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.
Job well done.
Congratulations.
I told Emily this at the last meeting, I'll tell her again, she was the absolute right person to chair the first year of this organization. She really had the enthusiasm and the knowledge and really was invested in it and did a great job steering it to success. And now she's gonna have to, that's why I told her she has to help us backfill next year and next year and next year, and she's welcome to come back anytime, so.
Did you decide where you're gonna put the Stronger Together on your logo?
I don't think so. I don't think we did
about going
identities.
on the top.
Yeah, okay, because
Okay.
that spot.
Okay.
I guess any other questions for me?
I just have a comment, Emily.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider us allowing anything. I think we should be saying thank you for serving in that position. It gives a spotlight to the youth on how things are done, and you guys have done amazing work in this year, and I couldn't be prouder of how you guys handled it, the professionalism, the conversations, the ideas you came up with, so thank you, and great job.
And also, I told him at the meeting the other night that the first meeting I went to, nobody wanted to talk. And at this past week's meeting, everybody talked. And that was really nice to see the growth over the year.
Yeah, there have definitely been a lot more discussions, like, I don't know if y'all can see this, but there's a lot of tabled and unresolved items and ideas that we came up with. So there's a lot of work to still be done and ideas that are still floating around, so, and during committee member comments, I think we get a lot too, and just during discussions, everybody keeps floating in ideas, and I think that you guys have seen, you know, more ideas come in than what you expected, so,
Absolutely.
Yes,
yeah.
great job.
Awesome job.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
All right, would anyone else like to come forward under public comments? All right, seeing none, I will move to the next item, which is a proclamation for Poppy Day. I don't know, I guess I would like to read it, and then I guess I can just proclaim it. You don't have to approve this one. But I will go ahead and read it now. I don't think we have anybody here to speak on it, do we?
Yes.
Oh, would
Yeah,
you?
there's
Oh,
two
we
of
do, yes.
Jen's here.
Would you like to come and talk about it? I thought that was for the later line item.
It is.
It's both, okay.
My name is Jennifer Taphorn. I'm here today representing the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 163. I'm here today to present the Poppy Day Proclamation as well as the Poppy Day Run event information for the City Council. This year, with our 250th anniversary of our nation, for the Poppy Day, we're going to have 2 stations. One in front of 7th and Broadway, and then the one in front of Main Street Tax Accounting. And then we'll also have cans throughout the city, and then we're redoing the display in front of the Freeze Accounting as well.
Okay. Are there any questions?
Move to approve with the request.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm abstaining from that vote.
And I will go ahead and read the proclamation that I will come sign tomorrow. Actually, I guess I can sign it tonight. Okay, proclamation expressing support for the designation of May 22nd, 2026 as National Poppy Day in the city of Marysville, Kansas, and recognizing the importance of honoring those who have worn our nation's uniform. And whereas poppies are worn and displayed as a symbolic tribute to our fallen, the future of living veterans and service members, and whereas at the end of World War I, the American Legion family adopted the poppy as a symbol of freedom and the blood sacrificed by troops in war times. The symbolic use of the poppy comes from the poem In Flanders Field, which movingly begins, "In Flanders fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row," referring to the poppies that sprang up in the churned earth of the newly dug soldiers' graves over parts of Belgium and France. And whereas the American Legion family has long utilized the red poppy as its official flower, symbolizing the blood shed by those who have served in our U.S. military, and whereas wearing a poppy will unite citizens from across the country who decide to show their patriotism. Therefore, I, Todd Fry, Mayor of the City of Marysville, Kansas, do hereby proclaim the 22nd day of May, 2026 as Poppy Day, and encourage all citizens, residents, and visitors to join in observing this day to honor every service member who has died in the name of liberty, freedom, and democracy, while also showing their support for living veterans, service members, and their families. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
I have a question on this.
Yeah.
What do you got?
How much are could you tell us a little bit about you can purchase?
The poppies are for donation.
No, on the walk.
Oh, I thought the walk was a separate.
Yeah, we can go ahead and jump into
Oh,
that.
okay. Sorry.
We have no
No, that's
notice of
okay.
hearings, and now we'll move to that.
Okay.
Poppy Run Walk request, I'm number 1.
Okay.
No
It was
worries.
already up
I know, that's why it's, yeah.
Okay, so the Poppy Run this year, we've decided kind of do the 5K run walk, fun run. And this year is also special because of the new Flanders Field display featuring the new white crosses, which is a community project between the American Legion, the high school, and Landau Company. So that's going to be a nice feature of this year's walk. And we have a $20 fee or a donation, includes a drink ticket and snacks. And then we have placards that are going to be $20 for new placards and a $10 display fee for previous years.
So a total of 30 per.
No, so if you buy one, you buy it for 20, and then if you want it put out next year, it's like $10 donation.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, we keep adding signs to the route, which is nice. And then we also have a little bit of advertising for our girls' state and join the auxiliary.
Okay. That's the part I wanted.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments on the request?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstaining from that vote also, thank you.
And one abstention.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again.
All right, next up, we have the Longhorns on Broadway request. Wayne Cruiser.
Good evening, everyone. Jim Rombeck was in the office a couple weeks ago with this fantastic idea to host an event called Longhorns on Broadway. A great title. So he's with the Midwest Texas Longhorn Association. They had their first sale this time last year, which brought a lot of people to Marysville for this sale and auction. And so this year they're expanding, and they decided they'd like to get people to come a day early to stay in our hotels one more day. And so Jim popped in and said, what if we host Longhorns on Broadway? I'll bring some of my Longhorns, we'll put them in a corral by the Pony Express Barn and Museum. We'll bring in Ron Wilson, the poet laureate of Kansas. We'll have some Western fiddle music, we'll serve some food, and we'll get some people to downtown Marysville.
Move to approve the request.
Second.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Peter?
Thank you. Next up, we have the street closure, 12th Street to 13th Street for community after hours.
Exactly. So our businesses in the 1200 block of Broadway, including the courthouse, are teaming together to host next week's community after hours. And so we're asking to close that block so that we can play games, serve food, and have fun.
Move to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ito?
Thank you. Next, we have the Big Blue River Days request.
Exactly. Looks identical to last year. I can elaborate if you need me to, or Tyler can as chair of that committee.
Need anything from the city for that, or is that all?
I think mainly the tent setup
Tent
and
Barricades.
Cones.
barricades.
Yeah.
Same request as last year. I mean, we were able to accommodate last year. So.
Okay.
Move to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm going to abstain just because I chair that committee, so.
For now.
He chairs it skillfully.
Do you need any bleachers or anything?
No.
Okay, next up we have the firework request.
I feel we've talked about this for about a year, but we haven't officially said, let's spend this amount of money on our fireworks for July 4th on Broadway. And notice we're moving our 4th of July celebration downtown. People overall loved it when we did our Christmas fireworks display, and that area is just more open for a lot of other stuff. So as we put that whole day together, you'll see lots of water activity. You know, those foam parties are really fun. So we have along with our inflatables, there'll be I don't think I'm saying it right, but I can't think of what they're called. Like they spray foam on kids and have fun. So there's water activities, there's a band, there's stuff for adults, then we'll culminate with fireworks.
So is this request just for the fireworks?
Yes.
Or- okay.
I did receive an email, I'll be the one to throw it out there, I don't know who else got it, about parking for the elderly people. They thought Lakeview was more convenient for the elderly just because there was more room. There was more places to park. Do we have a plan in place for that?
And I would think parking in downtown would be easier because you've got the whole 7th Street corridor. The depot's already talking to us about what can we do in that area to seat people over there.
Okay.
And certainly the last time we did fireworks at Christmas, remember I had to go house to house to house to ask for their approval. And they all loved having fireworks on this side of town for once. So I think that's something to take into consideration as well.
Right.
And plus they go up in the air, right? They're going to go high, so I think we'll be fine.
I also received some questions about whether the fire department, fire marshal, et cetera, were aware, and you have worked with Don Ballman and the
Right.
fire department on this, right?
I've never talked to a fire marshal. I mean, I don't know how we're using that term, but in the years that I've done this, I've never talked to a fire marshal.
His name's Parker Smith, if
Yeah.
you need to.
Right, fire department, yes. I mean,
And typically, doesn't the person shooting off the fireworks
Have to
talk
be
with the fire
licensed or
marshal?
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that we're not putting anything up larger than 1.5 to 2 inch shells.
This is the smaller.
yes.
I know we're
Yeah.
not putting up anything larger than 2 inch shells.
Right.
Just based on who I'm assuming is going to be shooting them, so we are covered as
We're all
far as.
within, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, any other questions on this request?
Move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to approve the firework request. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ito?
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Wayne.
you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Next up, we have the alley closure request from Frontier Development Group.
Move to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ito?
Thank you. Next up, we have the right of first refusal on the Custer Block commercial buildings. This is an item that was being discussed. It went to the Admin Finance Committee meeting. The Admin Finance Committee meeting thought that it was something the whole council should address rather than them make a specific recommendation. We do have our city attorney, I think, attending via Zoom right now. I don't know how much back and forth we're going to be able to have on that.
Well, and that's why we went ahead and sent out a memo from him ahead of time, so that way you all had a chance to read over that, so you could be able to discuss those considerations. Because ultimately, even though we had already signed off on a right of first refusal in the past, after conversations with their bond attorney, they had felt like they needed to add in more or different provisions, which is where this new one came from. And ultimately, you know, Luke and I cannot just sign off on that. It's got to be a decision that comes down to the council, because of how everything has changed within it. So.
Is Frontier Development Group in agreement to the current wording of the first right of refusal?
No, that's why they brought this as a change.
The current one, they had been until bringing in their bond.
So we're adding another. So have we shared this with
The one that's in
Frontier
front
Group?
of you is the one that is updated from
From them.
From Frontier
Yes,
Development.
after discussions with our.
modifications.
With Luke.
And our,
Yeah.
yes, and there was some opinion. Luke, if you want to speak to that.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
What
So,
I'm trying to say is, this has been
is-
going on for way too long, and what we're gonna do is then shove it back to them, and then we're gonna be right back in the same situation
First,
again.
I'm going to let our
Yeah.
speak it for,
Yeah.
so.
So just to confirm this is a counter proposal from them. And, I realize the Kester Block this whole project has taken a long time. However, I can safely say it is not on the city for this still waiting to close. It should have closed 2 weeks ago, and they sent this counter proposal to us. Now, this counter proposal has a non-cash consideration, and that is materially different than what was proposed to them. So, having said that, I do not feel comfortable as just being the legal counsel to say whether that is appropriate or not. That really is a political decision and needs to be signed off or weighed off from the council.
Yeah, so I would say when this came to me and I discussed it with the city administrator and our city attorney, I did not feel comfortable making this political decision unilaterally. That's why I said, let's discuss it as a committee. Committee said, let's discuss it as a council. We're acting with our due diligence here. I personally agree in the sense that the greater risk is losing the opportunity. So I think we're just gonna, my opinion is we have to have some stomach for the risk, but everybody needs to be well aware that these changes were made and that this wasn't a delay on our account.
No.
Just to be clear, this was not, we
Okay.
do plenty of our own delaying, unfortunately, and this isn't it, so.
Yeah. Well, I guess the way I look at it is 30 years from now, Frontier Development Group wants to sell the property that right now stands probably in 5 years is going to be evaluated at, let's just call it $1 million plus. Does the city have any business in thinking that we need to purchase that?
And I don't even think the city in that time may even be in a position to.
No. And if we think that we're going to be in that position, then we got our priorities set the wrong way. So I'm in agreement with the rewrite of the document.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the first right of refusal from edits and move forward with closing on the property.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
You know.
Thank you. So, Josh, if you want to communicate that to
Yes.
Tyler post haste? Great. Moving on, finished good lot lease renewal from Landall Corporation. I don't know how many years this has been in place, but it's been a number.
Move to approve the lot lease renewal.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
And Josh, can you explain this a little bit for?
This is the lot that's, at the airport next to the helipad.
The airport lot, okay.
Yes.
Where there's some trailers and things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then was there something similar to this we just voted on last year?
There is also a parking lot, at the airport. I guess this one is more part of the cemetery, the other one's part of the airport.
Okay, cause I remember we doing something about that, but I was,
Yes.
okay.
So this is just the gravel lot?
Yeah, that rock lot, right,
Yeah.
the nose of
The
20th.
west,
Yeah.
northwest, okay.
Okay, is there
Yeah, you have a
a
motion and a second.
a second? All right, is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain.
Okay. Next up, we have 2026 street project bids. This is one that was at the last council meeting and went back to committee and now is back once again.
I understand these streets were budgeted in the budget that we all passed, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
This falls within the amount that we budgeted, yes.
And I think we're probably, if the project is to go forward as bid, we're probably at the tail end of being able to do that with the contractors as presented. They've hung on this long, but I don't think they're gonna hang on any longer. I mean, I wouldn't blame them either. Costs are continually going up with fuel costs going up, et cetera. It's only gonna get more expensive, so. What are council's comments on this? I know it's been cussed and discussed, but we have a full council here tonight. Part of the reason I wanted a full council here tonight. I know, Tyler, you're new. If you have any questions or anything too, there's only dumb questions are the one you don't ask, they
Yep.
say, but I know you've been watching the council meetings, so.
I have, yeah. I guess one thing I would shed on this is, I guess for those of you that don't know, I'm a civil engineer, went to school for engineering and been in the consulting realm for 9 years now. So, I've kind of been around the block, not necessarily for transportation side of things, but environmental consulting specifically. And, we work with private, public municipalities all across the country. I focus more on the Midwest with, Kansas, Missouri. And we develop capital expenditure plans all the time specifically for municipalities. And these master plans, they allow the municipalities to be strategic and, primarily strategic with their operations, construction, and budgeting. And it tends to be an all-encompassing plan, not just, kind of nitpicking, which I kind of think that's what's been done over the last, X amount of years. And in my personal opinion, as you know, as an engineer, not going on record as an engineer with SCS Engineers, but I would prefer to see a master plan implemented by this council. You know, there's no time like the present to begin up this process, so that's kind of my opinion on it. You know, I drove around the streets Sunday afternoon and evening after being at the Mother's Day market, and you know, the streets of interest definitely, you know, need attention, but there's a lot of others. And, you know, this weekend I went ahead and kind of got the ball rolling and my, you know, focus on being a council member. And, you know, I kind of took a broad approach, and I tend to be more of a visual person, and developed these figures. Come to find out, had I asked Josh, the figures basically already developed. So, you know, I spent a lot of time on it, but, you know, it was time well worth it just to get a better understanding of what we're dealing with here. But, you know, I think if we could execute, you know, I don't know the specifics to it, but execute like a 3 to 5 year contract with, you know, a general contractor to complete X amount of roads, I think that would be the best, you know, bang for our buck as a city. You know, you eliminate multiple mobilization, you know, fees. And in my experience, you know, that can be 5 to 10% of a project. I mean, if you have $1 million project after $1 million project, that adds up. I think, you know, there's cost savings there. You know, if we can get a contractor to mobilize here one time, I think we could accomplish a lot. If we can, like I said, execute a multi-year contract, keep them here, I think we'll get our biggest bang for our buck in that sense. So, you know, Wamego, I don't know if you guys have been to Wamego in the last couple of years, but they've been redoing a lot of their north-south streets. I don't know how many years they've been working on it, but, you know, my sister lives kind of right across the street from one of them, and they've been, you know, chugging along on those. I don't know what they've done, if they have a master plan, but, you know, I think it's something that needs to be done, whether, you know, we you know, implement a 10, 20, 25 year or even beyond, but I think it needs to be done. So, and another thing I'd like to see done is, you know, I don't know how, you know, you guys have developed a priority 1, priority 2 list or beyond that, but I think we, you know, whether we do that internally, develop that more sophisticated, comprehensive.
We do have that all the way to priority 5, actually.
Okay. And I don't know how detailed that is, but, you know, I'd like to take a look at it, you know, provide some insight on it. But, yeah, I mean, at this point, in my opinion, a master plan would be something we need to look into doing and actually do it. You know, instead of kicking the can down the road, we actually put it in motion and develop one.
And that's a good call. I think everybody kind of, maybe to some extent, agrees with that.
100%.
We need to do it, but we need to make it actionable. That's kind of, like you said, if it's too greedy at once or too much upfront, then it's not really actionable, and it's easy to push things out. But where if you come up with a plan and you execute it year over year for 5 years or even longer, I mean, there's only so much you can hang on future councils. It's the nature of politics. But no, I think everyone's in agreement on that. I think maybe the question in front of us is, when does that start? Does that start after the projects that are bid here, or does that start now? And the concern, and, you know, obviously there's plenty of ways, and you can discuss it at great length. One of the concerns is that we won't show good faith with some of the contractors if we don't move forward now. But that's, again, if the better consideration for the community is to not move forward on these at this time, then it is what it is. That's a political question.
My 2 cents is, since it's already been budgeted for these streets, just go ahead and do it, and next time, do a big master plan while we can move forward,
I think, to Tyler's point, starting the master plan now. I mean,
It needs to be concurrent. And the first thing we gotta do is figure out what we're willing to commit.
Contribute.
And then we come up with the plan, and then we execute.
Agreed. That is 100% a good idea. I think the problem with that is, I think this has been tried probably multiple times in the past, but to Todd's point, you know, council changes and then the plans change. So we need to come up with a way through resolution or however it's done that And I don't even know if there is a way, that we come up with a 25-year plan that no matter what the new council comes in, it can't be undone.
And they can't pick and choose. That's
Right.
happened too. I've been here a while.
Well-
They go, pull this road off, put this one in, pull this one off, put this one in.
Well, and that's part of that plan is to commit, okay, our sales tax money is 1.2 million. We're gonna commit to 90% because that's one piece of our infrastructure that we don't have a funding source for. We're gonna commit to that. And yes, it's gonna cause us to have to make some sacrifices on buying new chairs for the room or concrete in an alley, to pacify a business owner and city is in general. I mean, those are the kind of things that it's through that process that he's talking about. They're going to be tough decisions, but I think once it's in place, and then make some enforcement through, I don't know, resolution, ordinance, whatever it is, that if you want to change the direction of this, you have to present your case on why we should change this. You need to review it every 5 years, but it shouldn't be a 5-year plan. It should be long-term. It's a philosophy, not a, this is what we want to get done in the next 25 years. After that, we don't care about it.
And I should call out that I think we should also make sure to leave ourselves room for projects, whether, not saying chairs necessarily, but an alley or something that needs to squeeze in, because the thing of it is, with a 10-year, we'll have a problem in 7 years. We don't expect, so we need to build into it some margin, I think, of being able to, not pull things out and push things in, but room to find some of those projects, those problems we haven't seen yet.
Or to
I know
have
that's
a-
the case with the water, stormwater system and otherwise. We've got the known problems and we got
But
problems we don't know.
we have funding sources for those kind of problems.
Yeah.
We don't.
Right, but I mean, we've got to make sure we don't overcommit so that we can still have.
Well,
this.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You could also you could commit
Yeah,
and then cut back on other expenditures.
right. Well, I'm saying the more we take out of the hands of future, changes of heart on council, the more, the better. But
Well-
we leave a little bit.
I've always said that if you show progress, people are gonna say, why would we not want to keep doing what we're doing?
Correct, and people are gonna need to be patient with the progress too, because sometimes it'll be one specific place needing it worse, and we've got the plan, we've got to execute on the plan. So I get that, yeah.
And everybody knows my opinion on this. I don't think anybody has any questions in their mind where my opinion is on this.
Well, and you know where I'm at, because I think rehabilitation is much better than full-depth reconstruction of a street that has very low traffic. I don't care about this box of rocks sitting in front of me. It's a very low volume of traffic, and there's other methods of repairing it and saving it. So I'm done. I'm not gonna argue anymore.
No, I would say, there's a point to that. It's one of those, there's no one fix for all these, and that's something that's gonna have to be identified in the plan. We can agree on this.
We've only had one fix we've only had one fix since I've been on council, and that's completely tear it out and rebuild it.
There are roads that will have outlived their life expectancy and do have to be taken all the way down, so we need to be open to that. But yes, you're right, that is not the solution for everything.
Yep.
So, that being said, I do think that this road is a substantial problem, and it's not just from people who live on this, Jenkins specifically I'm talking about here, who've contacted me. It's also my personal experience. It's not that far from where I live. I feel like we can scab something over, we can put cold mix or something in the holes, which is kind of what we've been doing. But if we don't do some investing in rehabbing that road in one way or another, it's not going to get better. It's going to get substantially worse over the next couple of years. So my personal opinion is that we should at least move forward with some of this while we're developing that bigger plan, and not go forward with any other bids or anything non-emergency moving forward until that plan's in place. Kevin, I know you want to say something, so go ahead.
We at the committee talked about this in great depth. We want to put asphalt over that from 8th to 11th and be done with it this year.
Asphalt over the broken concrete. How long will that last?
We don't know, but we're never going to find out unless we try.
Well, that's absolutely an option.
It is what we can spend in 2 blocks. We can do all those plus part of North Street.
here's my counter argument, and you know what I'm gonna say, which is we'll spend that money again for the next, less than every 10 years forever.
We may, but there again, it's a low-volume street, low-weight
I
street.
would
And there's
argue
other
that-
ways than just thinking about it as, we're gonna put something over it, okay? There's other
I would
things
argue
out
that
there.
that's-
But if we have this narrow mind of the only way we can fix something is to tear it out and put it back, I know I'm gonna give you another home analogy. If the siding on my house is bad, I'm not gonna tear it down and build a new one.
Are you gonna paint over the bad siding and do it again in a couple of years? Or are you
No.
gonna replace the bad siding? We're
I'm
gonna run
gonna,
with the home analogy, I'll take it
I'm
all day long.
gonna buy good siding, so
Replace that
we
part.
can just go wherever we wanna go. You know where the committee stands,
I
so.
do. I do. I appreciate the committee's recommendation on the matter. I don't have an official recommendation, but I have an unofficial recommendation, which is I think the street is higher volume than you appreciate. The low volume is probably from people trying to avoid rocks. I avoid that street because it's pretty bad. It is a through street at 11th. It does have 11th Street has the yield for it. So it's considered an east-west.
I live on a high-volume street that's getting very little maintenance. So
Right, no.
you're preaching to the choir right here.
saying it's the only
In fact,
one.
the only maintenance that I've got is off the township for, I don't know, 2,500 feet. So,
No, I agree.
That's where
It
we're
needs
at.
addressed, 100%. We're in agreement. But
So
as far as this specific, sorry, go ahead. Tom.
Yeah, so Kevin, you mentioned just asphalting over it. Do we have a cost for that, or?
until we go out and look for a solution, how do we have a cost for it? There might be solutions where they can go out and put some kind of a membrane to seal the damn thing down and put an inch or inch and a half of asphalt over it and be done. Mill the edges along the curbs and be done with it. But we don't know that if we're only gonna look at this or nothing.
I think the problem with this road, or a lot of it is the curbs are in serious condition too, and so water's getting through the curbs and underneath the road. So if we just put asphalt in the middle and don't do anything with the curbs, which this is, gonna take care of, then putting the asphalt down is just, might as well throw all the cash in a grinder and be done with it.
Well, the committee's discussion was to put new curbing down both sides of
With
all the
the
streets for the 3 blocks.
Okay, well, we have the committee's recommendation, which would be to not move forward with this, with these bids, any of these bids, either of these bids at this time, on any of these projects. And then I presume the recommendation would flow to go out and try to find the costs associated with doing curbs and asphalt. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
So we're going out for new bids.
Exploration bids, yeah, I guess would be the term, since we don't know.
Going out for an alternative, hopefully, solution to the problem.
So likelihood of that being done this year, I assume, would be pretty low. So it would be, just to be clear, this would be no projects this year. The fund would be untouched in the budget for the
I don't think
street,
it's smart.
for the street
Do you
construction.
think there's
Sorry.
any chance of it being done by the end, like towards fall?
Could be, we don't know. I have no idea what all weather schedule is,
I
or,
can't make assumptions until I get facts.
yeah.
And I agree with that, I just didn't know if anybody had any input
And
on
that's
that.
kind of the thing with the whole big project, the whole master plan idea is it's gonna take a lot of work to put all that together.
And a lot of
because,
hours.
look, you'll have to identify which solution is best for which
It's gonna take more than
circumstance.
just council administration.
Correct. Will be contracted out to some degree. My concern would be if we don't do any projects, then it shows, there's 2 ways to read it, and obviously we're reading it the 2 ways. One is that we're being very careful and we have that money for future spending. The counter argument is that we're collecting money that we're not using for anything, and then, it's not gonna get cheaper. I
And
don't
then
think
we're
anything we
another
do is gonna
year
get
behind.
cheaper.
We're still using the money for other stuff other than streets.
The money that was budgeted for the street repair?
Well, no,
I was like,
we're not gonna use it for anything else. Tom.
so I know, so your argument would be,
Yes.
we're setting it aside for future.
Yes.
And honestly, I hope that somebody can get to us by fall.
And if they can't,
And that
then we're
is
another
still
year
this
behind.
year.
And if they can't, then we're
And
another
you
year
are
behind.
correct.
We're 30 years behind
Do you,
overall.
Josh, do you
That's
know
that's why we should get it done, that's why we should move
from
forward.
the other communities that have been doing any asphalt bidding, what impact some of the fuel and all of that's had on bids?
I
Just
mean,
curious.
no, I don't know specifically, because I haven't talked specifically to them, but with the rising prices, of course, there's gonna be some associated costs. I don't know what that equates to, though.
Right.
Because we don't know how we're gonna do it.
No.
We don't know our approach yet.
And that actually is the other thing. If we were to go out for an RFP for this plan, I'm not even sure how we would write it, because I'm still not sure what we're looking for, because you talked about sealant in some way, something that would seal up between the curb and the road, something that would potentially mill and overlay.
If the committee could have a meeting with everybody on board of saying, hey, you guys gotta figure out a way to approach this and take care of it, and not always be arguing about, no, we need to do this, if we could just say, hey, we're all on board, we wanna rehabilitate these 3 blocks and put the curbs in, we will find a solution for you and for the taxpayers. So at this point, I think if we're gonna call it to a vote, we call it to a vote.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I move we go ahead with the 2026 street replacement project, Jim Jenkins and 4th Street, with the bid from HARS. Not Dawson.
Just Ford and Jenkins, 4th Street project, Jenkins Street project.
And move forward to come up with a bigger master plan to do a longer stretch, starting now to whenever we.
Building it into the next budget year.
Really ought to split those up. That's 2 different approaches, but.
Do you want them on the same, or do you want them split? Okay. There's a motion on the floor.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to move forward with the 4th Street and Jenkins Street portions of the bid project from AHRS, as well as start immediately developing a greater strategic plan for street replacement and repair. Does that sound right? Okay, is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
You want to call that out?
Yeah, I got no's, Michelle, Lori. Okay,
Okay.
3-5.
3-5.
Can
Motion
you let
failed.
the contractors know, please? Yep. Okay.
The yes vote was
Yeah.
from Keith, Cherie, and Chris.
So before we move on to the next item, as far as exploring and working on a possible other solution, what do we need to do to move
Get to
forward
it.
with that?
Just get going.
Get after it.
Let's
Street
go.
committee.
I would like a lot more specifics.
That's
than
what I
that.
wondered, is if you wanted some specific direction
like I said,
from the council on that?
Same thing with
Can
what I said before.
can the committee discuss that?
Yeah.
And offer some different alternative ideas with help of partners that want to partner with us and want to see us be successful? We all know we have to put it out to bid, but we at least need to look at other options.
And I'd like to move that we meet, if not the end of this week, next week, and get going.
Well, we don't need a motion
Yeah,
for that.
No, but I just
it'll
want to add
depend on
that to this.
availability,
Yeah.
but I will
And that was
work
part
on
of
it.
the discussion.
Graduation, we're not that this,
Oh,
not this week.
next week, sorry. Graduation, I will let him have, okay, just because you have a senior. But maybe next week we can get started.
Okay. That can be worked on at that meeting. Next up, we have Resolution 2026-04, CDBG 7th Street Corridor.
Move to approve resolution 2026-04.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ado.
Next up, I would like to nominate scholarship awards for our YAC committee members who applied this year. This is something we've discussed before. This would be for Grant Hafley and Emily Rockwell. and they have a scholarship morning, I guess, at the high school. They used to do it at night, and this year they moved it to the morning on Friday. So unfortunately, I will not be able to attend, but I believe, Josh, you're going to be, all right, and Michelle can be there in support to announce it then. If you will approve those nominations for our 2 scholarships.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
You know,
Thank you very much. All right, next up we have the consent agenda.
Move to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
you know,
Thank you. Next up we have appropriations ordinance number 3872.
Move to approve appropriation ordinance number 3872 in the amount of $616,310.56.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Roll call?
Keating,
Yes.
Snellings,
Yes.
Reinhardt,
yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Throm,
Yes.
Warren,
Yes.
Beichman,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
Ado.
Thank you. Next up we have the city administrator report.
Yes, I really don't have a whole lot. The last couple of weeks, of course, we've been working with the parks and PD on grant applications, so that way we can try to see what we're able to get, and yeah, of course, looking at the associated costs with those grants. Otherwise, we wanted to invite all the council members to a reception for Deb on Friday the 29th. Here at City Hall. We'll send you the details over email.
What time?
We'll send you the details
Be patient, be patient.
over email. And then, of course, you know, I just want to thank Gary for the work that he put in throughout this process with the street RFPs. Of course, Will, Sammy, and all of the other staff that worked on it. Because outside of the RFP, we spent, you know, at least 100 hours or so working on it, whether that's communications with all the contractors, making sure that they were up to date on everything that was going on, some of the whys, some of the, you know, what's going on, but then also through their recommendations on the different things that, you know, concrete would provide for them. And so I just wanted to thank all those people, because it was a lot of work. We brought it here and this happens, and, you know, we understand that. But just wanted to make sure that that was recognized. So that's all I had.
All right, thank you, Josh. We'll move into standing committee reports. First, Admin Finance Committee meeting. Our acting chair would like to report on that.
I was told I didn't have to do it.
Oh, well.
Acting chair. We talked about city administrator review. So we're gonna go through and keep having discussions about that and make sure that he gets his review so we can, he and we can understand how to work good together and how he can improve, how we can improve, and just with his contractual obligation stuff, you know, the raises and stuff that we all voted for, so.
We're a little shorthanded on, in that committee. Well, we're not shorthanded anymore,
Yeah.
but for reviewing purposes, we're still shorthanded.
Right.
So we'll kind of accumulate the reviews of Sheree and Chris and I, put the scores together, and then review the scores with Josh. We'll need to have another Admin Finance Committee meeting, not this week.
Remind me what else we talked about.
Let me pull up. What else we talked about, Josh?
I left my, my notes in
go
my
look at
paper.
mine.
Outdoor dining?
Oh, yeah, we had another, restaurant in town that, came to discuss possible outdoor dining. They were hoping to have a more permanent from, I don't know, like May to October, as opposed to having a movable one. I know I explained to them in that meeting that I felt that the council would want something more mobile, but you know, I can't talk for everybody on the council, because that was just what I remember from our discussions with the other restaurant that came. I think more outdoor seating is definitely a good idea and things, so they're gonna come up with a plan, drawings, measurements. They also discussed maybe a potential cost share with the city, maybe not with them, but as a, you know, maybe in the future, if more restaurants wanna do that, so that was an interesting thing. I'm sure other cities probably do that to help provide those things. But yeah, it was a good discussion, and they're gonna come back and present something to committee, I believe, again, and then we'll bring that to council.
And we also discussed the right of first refusal that we
That's
approved
right.
earlier in the meeting. I think there was a fourth item, but I don't remember what it was.
Do you remember, Josh?
No, I was trying to get that pulled up.
Communications.
Yes.
Oh, communications training, thank you. We talked a little bit about the, you know, some communications improvement endeavors. Kind of two projects kind of it works here. One is communication as far as we don't have a public information officer, but designating somebody on staff who's kind of owns our social media and owns the messaging, somebody who can get a little additional training in it and be responsible for it, so that way we can not only improve the communication but be very consistent in our communication with residents. There's a lot of kind of friction points there where the more we can do to be transparent, you're never going to make everyone happy, but at least we can be clear and do the best we can to make sure people feel like we're listening and we're trying to get them informed. And then the other was more, I would say, inner city communication, as far as from the governing body, city staff, the department heads, etc. We discussed the possibility of having a workshop, kind of like we do a budget workshop, where we could kind of explore what some of those pinch points are, kind of try to enlighten each other on needs we're seeing, hear things we're hearing, find a way so that we can improve each other as council members or as governing body members, and as well as department heads in these roles. I think the better we all are at doing a little bit of presenting things in a positive way and being open book and asking questions, communicating things we notice, the better we'll all be. The better the city will perform, the more kind of value people will see in us, and I think we'll all be better council and governing body members as well. So we're going to kind of work on some resources as far as how to structure that, whether that's like an annual thing like our budget meeting or otherwise. The shape of it to start will probably be not the shape of it when we get going, because we don't necessarily know what direction to go. So it doesn't make sense for us to hire a moderator when we don't really know what we should tackle first or our plan of attack. But it's something we've identified as, you know, something that people would appreciate out of us. I think that was it on that. Was it? Yeah. Street committee.
So the street committee met, and the first thing we talked about was dust control. Had a brief discussion on which areas to address. I think the more important thing that the committee decided was, once we put it down, we can't do a lot of maintenance on the roads. And two, prior to putting it down, we need to get a lot of maintenance done on the roads. And basically, we just got to prepare them to the point that we think we're going to get by, because once we have to go out and do anything to the road, that dust control, the effectiveness of it diminishes rapidly. Obviously, we've talked about the Jenkins Street, 8th and 11th. We had discussions on North Street and 11th Road. I think a lot of that North Street, or 20th to 11th Street.
To 11th Road.
Being North Street. I think we hashed that out enough tonight. And then, obviously, we looked at what, And a lot of the last couple bullet points when it comes to additional street discussion, street conditions, traffic usage, maintenance needs, that really hits into what we're talking about with this long-term, what's our approach. The only thing that I would like to strike from the notes is on the additional topics, we did not discuss hiring a full-time city engineer,
Oh, I left out.
but just looking at hiring a service or a construction firm to help us assist with projects. I think overall, the only thing that we did discuss as well is that we really need to get that rock put down on 12th Road to Kiowa, and I don't think that's happened yet.
Get it bladed.
But I think that's not something we need to make a decision on. We have the rock, we just need to make sure we get the work done before we get a good rain. So, that's all I got.
All right. And Youth Advisory Committee, I guess we already got our update from Emily. Thank you very much. I would add, while we're discussing that, something I brought up at the YC meeting was we didn't have any funds budgeted for that organization this year. And I mean, I want them to be self-supporting, but I also would rather they spend their time doing projects that connect them with the community, not just make money so that they can do projects. I mean, the community gets hit up for a lot of things. I don't know if that's something where in our next budget year, we can put a little maybe seed funding budgeted for them. I feel like they've proven that they want to do things with it. And I think that would help them focus on some more community activities rather than just doing fundraising. So Josh, I don't know if that's something for future discussion for the, when we do our budget workshop. And it doesn't have to be a whole lot. I mean, they're pretty good at finding creative ways of making the money go far, but I think they've earned our support. So wanted to throw that out there. All right, City Attorney. Luke, do you have anything to present to us?
Nope, nothing else.
I would ask, while we've got you, sort of, as far as some of the preliminary work we've talked about doing on 12th Road, as far as easements and things, is that still a work in progress?
Yeah, I just need the property, whatever property descriptions or anything, and I'm ready to go.
Okay, I want to make sure we don't let that slip and we kind of keep that moving forward. That's our first step, so.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I can get that, I can get it back next week.
Okay, great.
One other thing, that struck something else in my mind. I did get an email back from April Schwartz, and she said regarding that pool question that she feels that comfortable with that. So if the council wants to discuss that option more as far as that budgeting, she was comfortable at it from an audit standpoint. So.
Okay.
Let's see, perhaps 2 meetings ago, I think.
Yeah, Parks and Rec Committee.
Yep.
Discussed. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Luke. All right. Does anybody have need for an executive session this evening? No. Okay. We will move into council comments. Jeff.
Again, I would like to just say that our taxpayers should appreciate the fact that we have these conversations and these debates and we talk things through based on the opinions of the people that are talking to us during the week, and then based obviously on our own opinions. Don't ever get to the point where we don't want to debate something that's important. The other thing I would say is we have some kids graduating. I hope to see maybe a couple of them go away and come back, and I hope some of the ones that stick around be productive citizens of Marysville, Kansas. So, that's all I got.
All right, thanks. Lori?
Yeah, congrats, grads. That's about all I've got. I don't have anything else. I have no notes.
All right.
So.
Michelle?
I thought Wayne and his group did a fantastic Mother's Market this weekend. I drove through the city park, and kudos to whoever helped clean up. There was no trash laying, dumpsters of course were full, but the cleanup, it put right back the way they found it. Otherwise, I still would like a flag on City Hall. I think we need a flag. I guess I'm a little patriotic, so.
Let's make it happen. I'm on board, especially before the 250th. coming up.
Yes, yes.
Yes. All right, thanks, Chris.
Why don't we have a flag on City Hall? Is it flagpole damage or?
That one, I believe, is damaged, and now, because of how close it is to the lines, they wouldn't put it up again. So we would have to move it to
Okay.
a different location.
It's been in
That's
that
not-
location for years.
Yeah, but they moved lines. They moved
They
power lines.
moved the
Yeah.
power lines. I gotcha.
I would love to help assist with that.
But putting the flag out or putting the flag pole up?
Pull up, yes,
Okay.
yes. We have means, ways to do that, so.
Well, let's make that a team effort. Yeah. Councilman Keating can spearhead that.
But other than that, congratulations to the graduates, of course. Mother's Day market, went down there with my family, had a great time. So good job on Wayne and his crew and all the vendors that show up. Please don't show up next year because I always spend too much money. And also the high school went there before the Mother's Day market. They were having the art show. So I just want to say thank you to the students who, you know, provided art for that. It was amazing to see all the different kinds. I didn't realize how many different kinds of art there are, but it was amazing to see all of that. And congratulations to those who won awards and did a great job doing that. That's all I got.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few things. Is there something wrong with the pool this year?
Yes. Yep, that one. Underneath the yellow slide, there is a leak. They're coming out on Thursday, in order to look at it. That's why we fill it earlier, than what
I
we
seen
normally
it
do.
was up and everything was working, now it's
Now
back
it's
down
down.
about
Yep, as
2
long as the
feet.
pump's not running, it is not leaking out. We've isolated where we feel it is. That's why they're coming on. We got a hold of them last week and they gave us.
Public has asked me, I said, I think there probably is a problem, didn't know for sure, but I need to let them know too, so,
Thanks for getting ahead of it.
yep.
So
Sec-
is it a big leak or a little leak or just a leak?
It's a leak.
I couldn't tell you how much it's losing per minute, per hour. Yeah.
Milliliters per hour?
I can try to find that out for you. I don't think we have that measurement though, yeah.
It'll be less of a leak next week. Anything else?
Okay, yes, the wetlands, have we done anything or contacted anybody on that?
The bond
Yes.
company?
Whoever?
Yeah.
Yes, we've once again gotten a hold of Nathaniel again. I just took off Zoom, so Luke's not able to speak to that. He's sent stuff off. We're in conversations with the state to try to make sure that it's moving forward. And then we've also got in contact with property owners nearby the lagoon and the lagoon, so that way we can start working ahead onto the next phase.
Okay. And the third thing, the mercantile, the back steps with the hand railing,
Just kept them off.
were we gonna do that, or is that something they were
Yes,
supposed to
that's-
do?
We're going to be replacing those back steps.
As
You're
in
talking
the
about
city?
into the kitchen, yes.
Okay, and the railing going up steps too?
Yes, all of them.
Forgot that, yes, and it's coming loose again.
Okay. That's all I have this evening.
Okay. Ty?
Well, first council comments, I better get it right. So, no, I guess thanks to you, Mr. Mayor and council, for allowing me to sit on this council with you guys. And, you know, I look forward to serving the community in this capacity. I've only been here, 7 years now, moved here in 2019. I've been pretty involved in various capacities, but yeah, I just felt taken to this, position. Lots of prayer, talking with the wife. We've got busy careers, one kid, one on the way. So life's pretty hectic and will continue to get hectic, but yeah, just very appreciative of the opportunity, and that's all on that. But also congrats to Marysville Community Foundation on a very successful Pony Up Day. Almost $750,000 raised, so. And congrats to the residents of Marysville and Marshall County. I mean, very generous community, and, the people continue to give back in various aspects, so. That's all I've got.
All right, thank you. Keith?
No.
Sheree?
I don't have anything. We kind of discussed what I've had customers, citizens call, and we discussed what they talked about. There was several that didn't know why they weren't doing the fireworks down at Lakeview. That was answered. It was a good answer, I think. And then also not fixing the streets that you say you're gonna fix. That was several complaints. But congratulations to the graduates. Good luck on your future. Come sit here.
All right, thank you. Yep, to reiterate, congrats grads. Glad the Mother's Day market went off well. Hope all the mothers had a wonderful time. Welcome, Ty. You're gonna have to hit the ground running. You're on some busy committees, but you're aware. Appreciate you stepping forward into the role. And yeah, feel free to ask questions to any of the people up here. Just don't ask them each the same question. That's a meetings violation. Ask them different questions at different times. But we're happy to help. City Hall's here to help. Josh and Sammy, we've got kind of a good group in our department heads. We've got a lot of strong people working for the city, and they're a resource. And I assume, Josh, you can coordinate with Ty as far as getting a tour of facilities.
Yes.
Like we usually do with new council members. So
I haven't had one, so
get to
I'll
go
go
out.
with you.
Well, you can go out and visit all the well sites and everything. It's a grand time.
Yeah.
Go out and canoe the lagoons. Everybody does it. Don't tell you otherwise. Did want to see, is there an update on the code enforcer? We have somebody in training, yes?
Yes,
Or is
currently he
he
has,
probationary? What's the term?
well, yes, because probation lasts 6 months, but
Right.
yes, so code enforcement has been hired. He's been here 2 weeks?
2 weeks,
Yeah, yeah, so, trying to hit the ground running. 2 weeks seems long. It might be more like a week and a
He
half.
started on the 1st.
Is it possible
So-
to have him come to a meeting sometime and introduce himself? I mean, he's a big deal around here. We needed this
Yeah.
role filled, and we have
will
great expectations.
make sure that there's something on there, so that way he can do that.
That'd be great. The only other thing I had was the 7th Street corridor group that's been meeting and working on grants for that also had a successful Pony Up Day. The community showed with their dollars where their priorities are. It's fantastic. Pretty close to having all the matching funds committed, so that's great. We should have outcome on that soon. I'd say here in the next couple months, you'll finally hear some actual fun new actions taking place. I think that's something they've got a lot of different people behind, and a lot of people have been working hard on this, and we've come a long ways. So thank you to the people who keep volunteering to do that work. And that's all I had this evening.
On that, one of the grants, I believe, is due on the 20th of May. We will possibly hear back by the end of June. So that's good.
All right, anybody have anything else?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
There you go.
We are adjourned.